All right, so I want those shoulders, man.
I worked for those shoulders. I worked for those shoulders.
Yes, you have. I've seen some of your before pictures as you started to grow and progress, and holy cow, man, that's awesome.
Man, I appreciate that.
Well, everyone, this is Mike. You can find him on Instagram at Trainer Mike, and he doesn't know this, but he is an affiliate with Copper Johns, and if you use Trainer Mike, you'll get 15% off, and then he'll get a small commission off that as well. So we'll just say hi. What's up? What's up, Casey? So Casey's out of Iowa. What's up, Mark? He's out of Guatemala.
Very cool.
What's up, Matt? What's up, Russ? How you doing, man? Hey, Billy. Billy's actually comes up to Utah quite a bit. He just had a grandson just recently up in Taylorsville. All right. Hey, Steven. Steven's actually from Ireland, so he watches us. Yeah. What up, Andrew? No, that's not Andrew. It moved on me right when I said it. How you doing, Andrew? What's up? See, it moved on me again. Everyone keeps moving. What's up, Jason? How you doing, buddy? How you doing, Martin? See, everyone, I'm excited for you to get to meet everyone. There's a lot of them. What's up, Chad? Chad's from Canada, but we don't hold it against them. Chad and I are actually working on some things that hopefully come to fruition here pretty soon. Soon. What's up, Chris? Just saying hi. Okay, now Vinnie. So Vinnie and I get along very well. Vinnie is a power lifter. And when I say power lifter, he's a power lifter. So you and him would get along really well. He's been on my show previously. He's a really good dude.
Very cool. What's up, Vinnie?
So, as everyone comes strolling around or coming on, why don't you guys tell me what's in beard today? See, we talk about our beards. That's what it's about, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I see all these people. I'm kind of jealous. You got a lot of people with some really good beards on there. And I don't keep quite as long a beard as you guys, but, I did my best to make sure that it was as bearded as it could be for today.
Right. Well, that's what you get when you're doing all your shows. Why is that? Why don't you ever see competitors where, like, you'll see, like, Flex Lewis and all those guys have these huge, shaggy old beards, but then as soon as it comes competition, they shave it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some people that say it just kind of distracts from the physique, I guess. I mean, if you got a really cool beard, or a really ugly beard, either way, it's kind of going to pull the attention to the beard. And I've always I've usually kept a little something on there, but you don't see a ton of people that for some reason get close to showtime and they shave it off, which is it's kind of funny because my wife, she always says how much younger I look when I shave it all the way off. And typically when you dye it, you start looking like a little younger anyway. So she always jokes that I look like a teenager whenever I shave it all the way off and I'm super lean. So I like having a little something on there.
Right. All right. So again, everyone, appreciate it. Just if you have any questions for Mike as we're going, just ask away, and I'll do my best to try to catch you and all that kind of stuff. So fear the beard. Copper John's delivering tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of orders recently that all these guys are going to be trying. I'm excited. So why don't we do this? Why don't you just tell us a little about who you are and what you like to do, and kind of like, you and I have been talking since previously for quite a while, and I've got to get to know you through Instagram and through various little small chats. Just for everyone to know, just tell us who you are.
Yeah, so I'm Trainer Mike. I'm Mike Hildebrandt, but also known as Trainer Mike. So I'm kind of a fitness nut, right? Everything I do is fitness. So I got into into fitness, probably about 14, 15 years ago. Always athletic growing up, played soccer in college, and then kind of just got this itch to go compete in bodybuilding and start doing that. So I started competing in bodybuilding about 14, 15 years ago. And first time I stepped on a stage, I knew I was hooked, and went and changed my degree in college to exercise science. Knew I wanted to do it for the rest of my life. So started doing, exercise science as part of what I do as well. And then from there, I finished a degree in exercise science and started competing in bodybuilding pretty heavily and got into it. Now I've done 40 bodybuilding shows and had some pretty good success as far as it comes to that, and also made a career out of it. So I'm the area director of fitness for 4 health clubs here. So we have a chain of health clubs called Axiom here in the Treasure Valley. And so I oversee the personal training for those 4 locations, and but also a family man too. So I've got a wife and 5 kids with 1 due next month. So that's a big part of my life as well. So yeah, stay busy with the kids. So I'm
all I gotta say is I have 6 kids. Everyone makes fun of me, and they get the 1, 2, 3. Oh, congratulations! And after that, there's like, you know what causes that, right?
It is funny. It is funny because I know what you're saying. Like when we announced that we were having number 6, I don't think anybody said congratulations. They were just
right.
Really? Again, huh? Again.
Was it on accident?
Like, we're pretty excited about it. So no, that's it's been a lot of fun though. We love having a big family, and we get out with them. We stay super active with them. So that's been a lot of fun.
No, it's true. And that's one thing that I noticed on your stories and stuff like that, that you're definitely a family man. And it reminds me a lot of myself and trying to do the best you can with the time that you have with them. So we have a question already. So Vinny, he's got his first question. How long has he been training? Because the dude is that.
I like I said, I started training about 15 years ago, and I'm very OCD. So when I always tell people, like, bodybuilding is the best sport for somebody who has OCD, because you have no problem doing the same thing over and over again every day. So it's I've been pretty consistently going. Like, I don't think I've taken more than 3 days off of my plan, whether it be nutrition or training, in the past 15 years.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I've seen some of your meals. I'm like, dude, those look good. Like, you know how to cook and make it look like. Yeah. He only stacks tacos.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm all about the taco life too. I'm all about the taco life.
So you just briefly, like I said, you've competed in 40 bodybuilding shows. Is there a goal about becoming professional at it, or are you professional and like someone missed it? Why compete? Why? And then also, there's a bunch of us that are always want to know, like, your personal best, because I mean, like you said, you're yoked. So what's your personal best?
Well, thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, as far as the why bodybuilding, when there's a couple reasons why people compete. Some people compete just to say, hey, I did a show, maybe get in better shape. I really fell in love with the process. I was telling people, like, I've got okay genetics, but probably not pro level bodybuilder genetics, to be perfectly honest. I mean, some of those guys, it just clicks for them within a couple years. I mean, I graduated high school at 6 feet tall and 145 pounds.
Wow!
Being jacked wasn't exactly in the cards for me. So it's been something that I've worked real hard at. And I always say, like, a true bodybuilder, they're not chasing after a trophy; they're just chasing after trying to get better. And the bodybuilding shows have just always been something that's kind of like a stepping stone each way to say, okay, that's how I compare me against me. So I'm not quite pro yet. I've competed in a few national shows. And top 6 was my last finish at a national show, just real close. I mean, that's at that level, it really comes down to just tweaking a little bit of posing here, just a couple little things, ask for judges' feedback. And, for one class, they said I was a little too big in the men's physique category. And then in the classic physique category, they're like, if you would have just hit your back pose a little bit different, you probably would have been there. So
wow,
pretty close, but it's something that's been a lot of fun. And if it never happens, I never get the pro status, I'm okay with that, because I've had a lot of other things, a lot of other fun opportunities in there as well. But as far as personal best for me, I always tell people I'm not a super strong guy. Like I said, I've kind of worked my way up. I mean, I remember senior year in high school getting on the bench press with a 10-pound plate on each side and wondering if I was going to get one up. So it's been a lot of progress, I'll tell you that much. But no, my personal best is 345 for bench press. Squat, the most I've ever actually squatted to depth is 415, and deadlift is 500. So those are my personal best. So it's something I'm proud of because it's come a long way. But I've always thought, like, it'd be fun to compete in powerlifting, but the problem is I'm at that strength, I'm 230, 240 pounds, and those guys are really strong in those categories. So
no, they are. Yeah. So Vinny is 5'7", and he's a little 270. He's 270 right now. He's trying to get down a little bit less. But the guy is massive. Like, he has traps upon traps. Like, he's thick. So
that's a big boy right there. That's a big boy.
Yeah, and he's not fat. He's just a complete muscle. It's kind of cool. Yeah. He does these videos and everything. So we have another question about him. So Mark asks, what's your cardio routine so that you don't lose so much mass?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is I actually keep my cardio pretty low intensity. So kind of my motto is I'm going to go super hard in the gym, super high intensity, train to failure or close to failure most of the time. But for cardio, I'll do like 20 minutes in the morning on an empty stomach. And that's just an incline walk. I go like 3.5 miles per hour at an 8% incline. And then I usually do something for 20 minutes after my workouts as well. And I like getting on the stair climber and going at like level 7 or 8. So I try and keep that heart rate between like 60 and 70% of my max heart rate. And
Okay.
I find that by doing that, like, so, a total of 40 minutes a day, 20 minutes at a time, that's usually a pretty good way to make sure that you're not losing much muscle mass. It's when people start going, well over an hour a day into their cardio and really pushing the heart rate up high for long periods of time that they end up losing a lot of muscle.
Okay, that makes sense. And so Vinny has a question. Competition weight and sidebar, what's more important, size or symmetry?
That's a good question. So my competition weight, the last show that I did, I was 209 pounds on stage. My weight class for classic physique caps at 212 pounds. So I've got a few more pounds to go, which makes a big difference on stage. More important, size or symmetry. It depends on the judge. I mean, it really does. And that's always the frustrating thing is, I've done shows where I've asked for feedback and I've had judges say like, hey, you need more size, and other judges say, hey, you need more conditioning, or you need a little better symmetry, or whatever it may be. But I'm always personally, I run you as ace, but then after that, I think symmetry is more important.
Perfect. That's what I would think. I mean, when you're talking about like the Olympia and stuff like that, it seems like size is what matters. But when it comes to competition, like with your physique and with the classic physique, the symmetry is really, really important.
Yeah, and I don't know, I always try to have some kind of flow to it as well. I like that classic look, when you look back on the Frank Zanes and, physiques like that, where it was good flow to it. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't cartoonish. And, I like
to actually, do your collar on for church on Sunday.
Yeah. I like I still like to be able to move my body a little bit as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you want to jog every now and then.
Exactly.
So I know you in the past you've been affiliated with bodybuilding.com. I don't know if you still are or whatnot, but what supplements do you take and why? Like as a competitor and a person who's very, like that, what do you take?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, it's and most of that comes from, it's funny. I always like to tell the story. Like I remember in college when I'd have to save every dime I had to buy that one jug of protein every month. And, it took everything I had. And I remember just thinking to myself, man, if I could have all the supplements, then I would just be huge. And, you kind of start to realize like supplements, they play a role, but really far less of a role than the nutrition and the exercise, So for me, yeah, I've been with bodybuilding.com for a long time. I'm currently a sponsored athlete with Cage Muscle as well. And so the key staple supplements for me, general health wise, like in the morning, it's always a multivitamin, a fish oil. I take a ubiquinol CoQ10. I take a vitamin K2 with vitamin D3. I do a probiotic as well. I do N-acetylcysteine, great supplement, just got banned by the FDA. Nobody really knows why, but so probably won't be able to take that one anymore. And then as far as kind of performance ones, it's I do take a pre-workout, and I probably got more comfortable taking pre-workouts like every single day than I should have. But I tell people when you have an unlimited supply of it, you just kind of get used to taking it. But it's probably not the best thing. And I use creatine and glutamine pretty consistently. So those two are pretty much always in my routine. Good amino acid supplement, so essential amino acids during my workout a couple other times throughout the day. And then I supplement with like magnesium and zinc at night, just to kind of help, make sure I've got the minerals my body needs to be able to sleep and recover well, and occasionally throw in like a little bit of melatonin at night if I need a little assistance sleeping as well. So,
do you take any CBD?
I've kind of flirted with CBD. It's kind of interesting. So funny story about CBD. I took it for probably like 3 years straight. And again, I'm very religious with taking stuff like, that's why I said bodybuilding is a sport for the OCD person. So when it comes to, but it's funny because I ran out probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to stop taking it and see what happens. And I always tell people that's a good way to find out if something's working. Stop taking it and see if you notice a difference. And I haven't really noticed a big difference, to be honest with you. So, it's hard. Every supplement, everything you take, I think you're trying to figure out, like, is this placebo or is it actually making a difference? And, so far on CBD, I haven't really missed it a whole lot, to be honest. So, but I always tell people too, like, I'm pretty fortunate. I don't have like a lot of pain or anything. I know a lot of people take CBD for pain. I just don't. And so, people always say, well, do you like, does it provide you with pain relief? Well, I never really had pain in the first place. So I couldn't tell you.
No, that's smart. Yeah. I tried CBD and I know people swear by it, but for me, I have never noticed a difference, but that's just me personally. And I've had knee replacement surgery because of stupid powerlifting. but
that stuff.
I know, dang it. So what's probiotic, Nick wants to know?
So I actually take a probiotic by a company called Nordic Naturals. So Nordic Naturals they make some really good products, and it's I don't know the exact name of the probiotic, but I think they only have one, and it's been pretty good for me. So yeah, again, probiotic, one of those things where I've never really stopped taking it to find out, because things feel good, right? I have good digestion and everything, and I kind of attribute that to it. So I like it. From what I can tell, it's a good product.
Nice. So then we have Dave. Now, Dave is Bearded Motivation, and he loves working out. And he's very, very adamant about this stuff. And so he said the BCAAs are the one thing he doesn't see a difference in after you to stop taking it.
Yeah, and to be perfectly honest with you, branched chain amino acids is probably not a tremendous amount of benefit to those for people who are getting enough protein in on a daily basis. Now, I will say this, like if you haven't tried EAAs, essential amino acids, there is probably more benefit to those than branched chain amino acids. I mean, branched chain amino acids were the thing. Yeah, so branched chain amino acids were the thing for like 15 years. And then all this research came out about, a year or two ago, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't really do a whole lot, right? But the essential amino acids actually provide your, 9 amino acids to make all your essential amino acids. And those actually have.
So is that like the leucine and?
So your branched chain amino acids, just your leucine, your isoleucine, and your valine, and then you're adding in 6 more to get your essential amino acids to that. So it's more of a complete protein from an amino acid standpoint. There seems to be a little more benefit to that. So that might be something to give a shot as well.
Yeah, he might. He really, like I said, this is the stuff that he loves, and a lot of people love talking about this stuff, and that's why I want to ask you on, just because you've made it a career and you know what you're talking about.
For sure.
So you talk about your diet. You really haven't changed it over 15 years, like you said. And every Sunday you'll post on your Instagram page your chicken, your asparagus, what you do, and all that kind of stuff. So do you ever get sick of the same stuff? Because to me, that's really what I see. And then
Yeah. No, it's a good question. I get asked that question all the time, and I don't think anybody believes me when I tell them this, but I say, I legitimately never get sick of eating chicken, rice, and asparagus. I mean, I look forward to every single one of those meals that I have. I think they're delicious. But, for me, I think a part of it is a mindset too. You kind of look at food and you say, what am I eating this for? And I think when you understand like how it makes you feel and how it makes you perform, you say, okay, I like that because I like the results I get from it. Now, would I rather have a burger for every meal? Sure, I'd rather have a burger for every meal. I love burgers, right? But I try and limit those to a couple times a week. So, for me, the diet is 7 meals a day. Okay, I always start off the morning with egg whites, a cup of egg whites. Maybe I'll add in a couple whole eggs. Maybe I'll add in a little chicken, a lot of veggies. Sometimes it's oatmeal. Sometimes it's cream of rice. Sometimes it's nothing with it, just depending on what my goals are. And I always do 2 chicken rice and broccoli or chicken rice and asparagus meals per day. I do 1 shake per day. And then at night, I try to do like fattier meat. So I'll do like a good sockeye salmon or a grass-fed sirloin or something like that. And then usually eggs again before bed. So I got pretty comfortable with that. 6 meals a day. So 6 meals.
You're cutting out on my side.
I used to do 2 shakes a day. I've been doing 6 lately, but that's pretty consistent for me. Sorry, was that?
I'm cutting out. Are you cutting out, or is it me? I don't know. It's probably me.
I don't know. I could probably switch over here to my hotspot.
Oh no, you're trying. I think it really was me. I had this issue a couple weeks ago. But so with your diet and all that kind of stuff, what type of workouts are you doing? Are you doing like everyone talks about? Yeah, it says Mike, you're cutting out.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick. Hang tight.
Okay, not a problem.
Let's try this, and we'll see if we can get it squared away here. I don't know if I can connect to my hotspot here.
So yeah, so when it comes to working out, as you can still hear me, right? Okay. All right. So if anyone has any questions, just keep asking. I like this conversation. I like where it's going. So feel free, guys, to keep asking questions. I'm going to ask him about what type of workouts he does, high intensity workouts, power lifting, that type of stuff. Like what's caused what he does. You there?
Yeah, let me yeah. Do you got me now?
Yeah, I do. I don't see you, but I got you.
Okay. Well, hopefully other people can if they want to see me, but I think I've got a good connection now. So, you know, the big thing for me when it comes to the workouts is I developed a program a while ago where it's
just 1 second. Can everyone see him?
I can see me, but that probably doesn't matter.
I just wanted to see if everyone could see you.
Yeah.
Might have to turn the camera back on. So they cannot see you.
I got my little thing. Let's see.
Do you want to hurry and hop off and hop right back on? Can you hear me now? Yeah. Is your refrigerator plugged in? Yeah, why don't you go back out and then come back in? Hey, Chad, did you watch Fast and Furious 9 with John Cena? Oh, bad. It was bad. It was so bad. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but then I don't want to ruin it for anyone else. But yeah, it's getting more unrealistic. I can't see. No, do you want to jump off and then jump right back on?
Okay. Yeah, let me try that.
Okay. Whoa. Hey. So, concentrating on more stamina, hoping to get back to boxing for law enforcement Olympics in Vegas if they still continue to represent Hawaii. Correction. Wait, Olympics are coming to Vegas? Law enforcement Olympics. Nice. Double screen. When I dance, I bite my lower lip. And I do something like that. No, after 5, I don't watch that crap. Terrible movies. No, that's right. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1. Wayne's World. Did he mention what started his interest? He did. He was 145 pounds. And there he is. He was 145 pounds. And he wanted to get bigger. All right, there you are.
Hey, sorry about that, guys.
Hey, it happens. Like, you'd be shocked how many times a lot of people have to jump off and on. It's just
you gotta love technology. It's great until it doesn't work, and then you hate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his internet, he was been working, and he wants to know what caused you to have interest. And I thought you could just reiterate that. And then what are your workouts like? And do you deal with high intensity training, or do you? But I know you talked about the cardio portion, but the working out, the lifting, the weights, and stuff like that. What do you do, or do you mix it up?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, I guess what got me interested in the whole thing to begin with, I was one of those self-conscious kids, right? I thought I was skinny.
We're talking about how good to eat and everything, and here I am drinking a Monster.
Yeah, there you couldn't get the good-looking girls. Didn't like that, I was just a skinny, zit-faced kid. And I had one friend in high school who was just he was pretty stacked, And I was jealous, to be perfectly honest. And I was like, man, that would be pretty cool. Like, I'd like to fill out a T-shirt. I don't want to be a coat hanger. I want to actually look good too. So that's kind of what got me into. Yeah, so that's kind of what got me into it. You know, as far as the workouts go, so I train 6 days per week, and I do an upper body push, an upper body pull, and then legs, and I do that 2 times per. So I do each one of those 2 times per week. I do one heavier, so it's more focused on like your compound movements, your bench press, your squatting movements, your deadlifts, and we're lower on reps and higher in weight, right? And then I come back later in the week and I train those same muscle groups, but I do them with lighter weight, and I do them with more machine work, right? So that's where I do more cable work, get on the machines a little more. So heavy days somewhere in the ballpark of like 3 to 8 reps, and then the lighter days like 10 to 20 reps. That's where
Oh,
I really
wow.
focus on, you know, squeezing things out, really trying to get a really good contraction. So it's a nice combination. The science is there for it, most definitely, but it gives you that nice little, okay, I get to lift heavy at the beginning of the week and still get to throw some stuff around. And then later in the week, I produce that volume. I really get to experience that pump, which is, it's been kind of a nice combo.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to do that when I was doing bodybuilding, and then I switched over when I started doing the powerlifting. And powerlifting, you're a lot more slow, a lot more heavy, a lot more rest time. A
Sure,
lot more
but it's all goal specific, right? It's all
yeah.
goal specific.
No, that's what I mean is for those who are wondering, because I think you have a great work ethic. Chad has a funny question. He's like, what's worse, big legs and small calves, or big arms and small forearms?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go. Here's the funny. I don't see a lot of people with big legs and small calves, you know, but it does happen from time to time. If I had to go with one, though, I'm gonna go with the big legs and small calves, though, because you know, you're just that one just, you know, I don't like it.
No,
but that could also be because I genetically have some pretty good calves, so you know I'm gonna pick that one. Sure.
No, so I was at the Rocky Mountain Gun Show yesterday, representing Copper Johnson.
Okay.
We had a table there, and there was a gentleman walking by with shorts, and he was yoked. I mean, like you could tell he was at the gym, and then I swear all you saw was bone on his calves. Oh man. I
can't
hate
skip
that.
leg day. You can't skip leg day.
No, people hate legs, and I don't know why. I think legs are the funnest.
Yeah, it's a love-hate.
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, but your wife likes your bum. I mean, that's what I do. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about L-carnitine? Oral bioavailability seems to be garbage, but undeniably L-carnitine seems to be pretty amazing for visceral fat around organs and heart remodeling as well as performance.
Yeah, good question, Vinny. It's you know, it's similar to glutamine, like glutamine and carnitine. A lot of really strong research around you know, intravenous use. So I know, like, you know, glutamine, for example, is one that, you know, a lot of good stuff with like burn victims for muscle for muscle atrophy, but not a whole lot with oral use. And I think L-carnitine is the same thing. You know, so there's good research behind the carnitine, behind the glutamine, but when you actually dig into the research, you know, most of it is not oral because it has poor bioavailability. So you just have to take a lot more. And so I tell people with carnitine, it's 3,000 milligrams per day minimum. I like to break that down into 3 different doses, morning, afternoon, and evening. Anything you take orally is going to be broken down a little bit, and you're not going to get the best bioavailability of it. But that doesn't mean I don't think that it's not worth taking.
He says, Vinny, I use L-carnitine to lose weight. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
All right. So there's a lot of us, including myself. So I used to be a huge gym rat. Like I love gym. Like I would go work out and I'd be there and I'd get chills as I'm working out because that's how much I loved it. And I still love it. But I tore my labrum bench pressing, not realizing I tore it. And then I tore, and then I just barely got done with knee replacement as of March. And so there's some things I still can't do, but I'm capable. I mean, I just squatted 395. But now it hurts. It hurts now because where the bolts are into the leg, you know, you can feel that pressure. And I can feel that now. So how do you get those people who are struggling to get back to the gym to actually get back to the gym? Like, what would you say?
Man, it's tough. And I think for a lot of people, like, you know, like you or like if I stopped working out, everybody wants to start right back where they left off. They
Yeah.
want to, they want to hop back in and go 1,000 miles an hour. And I think the most important, but here's the thing, a lot of people's bodies are different, their lives are different, their schedules are different, their priorities are different. So I always tell people, like, just start going back a couple days per week. Okay. Just go back 2 days per week and make a commitment that you're going to get in the gym at least a couple days per week. And don't try and go crazy with it. Okay. Just pick a few exercises that you really like doing while you're there and make a commitment to get consistent with it, because you have to enjoy that process. And if you go in there trying to hit 6 days a week when you've been going 0 days a week for, months or years, you're going to have a really hard time enjoying that process. And you're going to be miserable too. You'll be sore, and it'll be pretty awful for you. So if you're struggling to get back to the gym, just slow and create a habit again, create some consistency. Even again, a couple times per week, you can get a lot done in a couple times per week. So you don't have to jump right back into, football training where you're going 2 a days for 6 days a week. Just a couple days per week is really all you need.
Yeah. See, my thing is I'm going back primarily because I'm going to be working out with this guy. We're going to go to the Saints game in October, Saints versus the Giants, October 3rd, and I'm going to work out with him the Saturday before. And so I'm trying to make sure that I'm ready for that, which is really cool because, like, he's one of Vinnie is one of the most high character persons around. Like, he just has high character, and so I'm excited to work out with him. But for me, I got embarrassed, and I still am embarrassed every time I show up because my shirt doesn't fit the way it used to. I have a little bump around my stomach that I used to not have, and maybe I'm not as proud as my all that stuff. And people used to look at me to what to do, and now they're like, ew. But that's how I feel, and I know that's not accurate. And so that's why I asked that question was specifically for me. It's just because, like, how do I get over that mindset? Because I know I need to go. I have 6 kids. I want to stay healthy, but it's hard.
No, you're right. We're our worst critic, and I think we always compare back to our best. And, here's where I used to be, but, again, life changes, and you have different things, you probably didn't have 6 kids back when you were training at the kind of intensity that you had. And, there's a lot to be proud of with having 6 kids and just keeping everybody alive on a daily basis. But, let alone trying to go out there and hit your own personal best again. So I think that's true. Like, a lot of people say, well, if I don't look like that or I can't perform like that, then what's the point at all? No, you just got to come up with some new goals and take it step by step and develop that habit again.
There's another guy who loves to work out. He's retired and he started back 3 days a week, and now he's up to 6 days a week. He really does go out all the time. He tells us about it. So
that's awesome, and that's the way to do it. Start 3 days a week. Now you're up to 6. You probably did it the right way. If you would have started at 6, it may not have turned out so well for you. So very nice work.
What up, Ken? Ken is a really good guy. He's out of Kentucky. He has a love-hate relationship with his treadmill that they always talk about.
I have the same love-hate.
All right, so to kind of get on the lighter side, so what are some of the embarrassing moments that you've had at the gym? Have you ever, like, done anything foolish or seen anything foolish? Like those...
I have, nothing too crazy, fortunately, knock on wood, but, you kind of just... Machines are all different, okay? I mean, you can, and they change all the time. Like, I'm always amazed at just all the levers and hooks and adjustments on machines now. So I remember one time getting on a leg press, and I was already warmed up, so I'd done a few exercises. So I load up the plates on the leg press and I unrack it. No big deal. I kind of knew where the handle was, right? I bust out my set. It's pretty hard. I'm about done for. And then I go to rack it up and I try pulling the handle and it wouldn't go, and just for like that split second, you have like that panic attack inside. You're like, okay, I've got, 8, 9 plates on each side of this thing and I am stuck here. And you start looking around like, what is the best case scenario out of this thing? And it was just, I stood there pulling the handle harder. And finally this guy working out next to me runs over. And he's like, you got to push it in and then pull it. Push it in and then pull it. So sure enough, I push it in and then I pull it, and it racked up. But, it was kind of embarrassing because, here you are. You're like, all right, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing here. But that one could have turned out really, really bad. So I was like, that was a good lesson for me that, go find out how the machine works, like really find out how it works before you get on it. And again, it was crazy. Like I would have never thought, there's this lever you have to kind of pull in and then push up. And it was just, I don't know who makes some of these things. I honestly don't. But that one could have turned out really, really bad.
Oh yeah, I remember training for my first bodybuilding show, and mind you, I'm sitting here like my warm up is 225, just literally warm up, just you know what I mean. And I'm sitting here, and then I have a week out to my show, and this is my first show, and I don't know what I'm doing. This is just me, and I am carb depleted up the wazoo, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I can warm up on a 135. I know I can't lift with it, and I can't even push the bar up on a 135. And all these guys running to me, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so embarrassing.
You're like, no, I would have been fine. I would have been fine. I promise.
No, it's like last week you were helping me do something else, and I'm like, dude. So so my biggest struggle is the food, figuring out the right supplements, and getting some big results.
Yeah,
food is always a struggle.
Food is so hard, and the only thing I can tell you when it comes to the food is you really have to. You can't try and make huge drastic adjustments. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that think you have to eat the chicken, rice, and broccoli every meal if you want to get in shape. Mm-hmm. And while I don't have a problem with that, I really don't. A lot of people do, and I get that. So I think the most important thing is that you just start logging food. Like I tell people, like download an app like MyFitnessPal and just start logging your food. And come up with some good numbers to stay within. And there's no reason, unless you are like a top level competitor, why you shouldn't be able to enjoy, pizza regularly or a burger regularly. You balance it out with some better choices. But I think it's when people try and get too restrictive that they run into the biggest challenges. And they just start saying, okay, like I have friends and they'll come to me and they'll be like, dude, you'd be proud of me. Cutting out sugar, no sugar this month. And I'm like, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Like, why would you do that? And then what's going to happen is on the first day of the next month, if you make it, you're just going to binge on sugar, right?
And because you just explode over.
It's just not realistic. It's not realistic to say I'm not going to people. Some people say I'm going to cut out bread or I'm going to cut out dairy. Now, some of those things might not make you feel the best, but the minute you try and tell yourself, like, I'm not going to do bread anymore, it's like half an hour later, you're like, man, I could go for a grilled cheese sandwich right now. Seriously, realistically, like you should be able to have a grilled cheese sandwich and still see good results. So just don't get too restrictive with it.
No, that actually, I love that. I love that logic because you'll have people like my wife who wants to go on keto because she likes how she feels when she does keto. But then, mind you, I don't know if she's really on keto when she's on ketosis or anything because I don't do it. I'm like, I'm good. Yeah. But then she'll have something like we're having, like we'll have mashed potatoes gravy on a Sunday with our pot roast or something like that. And she'll feel guilty because she's eating mashed potatoes. And I'll look at her and I'm like, it's potatoes. Why are you feeling guilty over that? And I'm with you on that. I think it's smart just to limit yourself, but also, you can have that every now and then and you're going to be fine.
Absolutely.
My problem is I eat it all the time and never stop.
that is a problem. That's
the problem right there. So we have Brett right here, super nice guy. He wants to know what the best way to go back to the gym with neck and back injuries.
Listen to what the doctor says. It can be frustrating, but hopefully you're seeing a physician. Hopefully you're seeing a physician that's giving you some good guidelines. And even though those can be frustrating to stay within, listen to that. If you've been cleared for exercise, stay away from anything that is causing you pain. And because the last thing you want to do is re-injure that and set yourself back even further. So, I'd find some things if you're cleared for exercise that you can do that are really going to allow you to, get your intensity up without any pain. Even if it means you go in every day and you train, the same 2 muscle groups, but you really just, I've seen it before where people have little injuries and they turn into huge injuries and then we have a big problem.
Great advice. And then we have Vinnie P. So Vinnie is, like I said, he's doing strongman, but he actually hurt his shoulder. So he's trying to lighten up because there's no reason for him to be that big right now. So he's doing strongman, eating 45 to 5,000 calories and all that stuff. And now it's rough because like I'm trying to drop and he still wants to eat all that.
Yeah. Oh, that is tough. And I see that a lot of times, like especially like football players and things that they get accustomed to. Hey, they're training twice a day, maybe they're a lineman or something, and they're trying to, they've been trying to keep their weight up all this time, and then they stop training that hard. And they got used to eating, 7 tacos from Taco Bell every day. And then all of a sudden it's like, you can't do that anymore. And man, I feel you there. I kind of get worried about the day that I can't train quite as hard as I do right now, because, I tell people that's one of the reasons why I train so hard, is so I can enjoy some big food, because I can eat some food. And I like to,
I've seen some of the
that.
sushi place that you order. I'm like, how can he afford that?
Well, we've got a pretty good all-you-can-eat place here.
I know, I'm just teasing. And just so everyone knows, he's from Boise. Is that cool that I said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've ever been in Boise, it's pretty cool. I like it. The stadium, though, man. The stadium. Boise is always destroying. I am a huge BYU fan, so
yeah.
All right. Dave goes, I never feel guilty eating any food. I think that's the problem.
Hey, man, more power to you. I wish I was in that same boat sometimes.
All right. Okay. We're just talking. You're going to have your 6th child here. I have 6 children. I struggle with this, and I do my best, and I'm conscious about how I spend my time. So for you, how do you balance your family, your work, and the gym? Because I know, don't you have a podcast too? We
do. Yeah, we haven't been as consistent with it, but we do have a podcast. Yeah.
So you have a podcast. You're an influencer. You're at the gym, but that is also your work. But you do so much. So how do you keep that all balanced?
I think the biggest thing is you really have to be very, very intentional with your time. I always tell people, if I'm going to go spend 30 minutes with my kids, I'm going to spend 30 minutes with my kids. And, I see people that'll spend 2 hours with their kids, but they're laying around on their phone half the time, not really paying attention to them or things like that. Like, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. And I think it's just how we spend it. And, when you start getting organized and intentional with your time, it starts making a big difference. Like with everything you do. Same thing when I train. I mean, when I train, I'm an hour at most, when I go to the gym and train. People like, well, you train for 2-3 hours. No, I train for an hour, but I make that hour count. I mean, I am intentional with every single rep I do. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is they lose that intention on what they're doing. So again, I'm too busy to spend time with my kids. Well, your kids probably would just love 20 minutes of your time, like your time dedicated to you, where you're actually doing something that they want to do. And, same thing. I see a lot of people spend 2-3 hours at the gym at a time and get done, what I could get done in 20 minutes. So I think it is. And even for work as well. A lot of people have quite a bit of flexibility with their work. They just have jobs that need to get done. And, if you really put it to work and say, I'm gonna focus on getting way more work done today than I normally do, just look at the things that waste time. And that's, you kind of get forced into that position as a dad, when you have all these kids and things, is you forced into really saying, okay, I have to eliminate time wasters, because now all of a sudden I have a lot of priorities in my life and a lot of things that are important. And when you start looking at all the things that are taking time from you, it's crazy, it really is. And so just little things like, are you going to bed and waking up at the same time every day? If not, you should be, if you possibly can. The amount of people I know that just go lay in bed and just, sit there on their phone for an hour and then say they don't have enough time to spend with their kids, or, they don't have enough time to go work out. Well, you just perused through Facebook for an hour and a half last night in your bed and then got poor sleep and, hit snooze 3 times and lost another 30 minutes in the morning. So, it's just being intentional with the time that you do have. And, it kind of gets to a point where if you have free time, truly free time, what are you doing with that time? Are you wasting it, or are you putting that towards something? So it's not easy. And it's something that I still always struggle with. But, the other thing I tell people too is, you can't feel guilt about investing in yourself. And because, at some point in time, you really do have to invest into yourself. For me, it's knowing that when I spend time working on myself, that I'm creating a better dad for my parents, or for my kids, excuse me. I'm trying to be a better parent, And when I go to work and I work hard, it's, you know, I'm working hard for them as well to try and create that life for them. So, and I think some people feel guilty about, oh no, I'm not gonna go, you know, to the gym because I should be spending that time with my kids. You know, well, think about the time that you could be spending with your kids, the quality of time that you could have if you took good care of yourself. So, those are just some of my thoughts on it.
Oh, dude, that is unbelievable. Great insight. That's why I wanted to ask you. For me, you know, I work a full-time job, and then I work another full-time job.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. It's become even longer full-time with Copper Johns. And so when I get home, So when I get home, I'm home. And so I'm here with the kids for a certain amount of time I give them, and then we eat dinner, and then I come to the lab. And then when I'm in the lab, I'm here, and I don't go to bed till 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I have to wake up at 5. And I'm not joking. I average about 3 hours and 17 minutes last time I checked a day so far. And but I love how you say you have to be deliberate. You have to be deliberate, especially with the family time. That's where I feel like most of us who are so engaged, I would say, in what we are doing, that you have to focus on the family, and you have to, when you're there, you're there. Because I see a lot of people, when you go to the park with your kids, they're on their phones and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. No, I'm actually going down the little slides with the kids. And all that. So,
for sure.
I think that's what I think that's, you know how it is. You have a lot of children, and they require a lot of time. And like last night, we went and I bought The Black Widow on Disney Plus. I decided I'm going to splurge and just get it. And I laid down with my kids, and all of them just went and sucked right to me. And it was so much fun. And obviously, you know, I fell asleep.
Yeah, of course. Well, they don't care, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it was just really fun, and it was nice, and they just wanted some dad time. And I think that's really important, just to make sure you balance it. And sometimes you can. Like I said, there's a lot of orders this past couple of weeks that I've had to take care of, and it stresses me out when customers don't get a good experience from me. And so that's important. That's why I haven't slept. But your family still needs it.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So we have one guy right here, Vinny. Where did Vinny's? I lost his. He said something right here. He's like, dude, he needs to come train with us in October.
Hey man, I'd love to. You guys let me know where and when, and if I can make.
We're actually going to the New Orleans. Go see Taysom Hill play.
Oh yeah. Hey, I hear there's some good food in New Orleans. So I
think we're doing a fish fry Friday, and then a crab. What is it? A crab? I don't know what they're called. If Troy was on here, he's the one who's helping us with it. But
you guys let me know, and if there's any way I can make it happen, I'll make it happen. That would be cool.
I used to pay attention to my kids, but the same 30 minutes turned into hours of trying to find them. I stopped yet. Sounds like Dorian Yates getting there and hit gym and get out. Don't need to waste 2-3 hours in the gym.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's Dorian style. I mean, you know, you see the people that go to the gym and say, oh, I go to the gym and I try, you know, but I'm just not seeing results. No, they need to go watch the Dorian Yates video, because that guy, you're right, man. When he went and hit a set, he hit a set, you know?
Yeah.
And there's so many people that leave so much gas left in the tank when they go work out, and it's a time waster.
Yeah, whenever I'm doing, my shoulders burn the fastest and my legs burn the fastest, and I can totally tell when I burn my legs because I can barely walk.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they can burn fast. I love this because I hear the excuse all the time, yet I can train daily, hold 2 jobs, be a present father and a husband. That explanation of being deliberate with your time was great. See?
Absolutely. Thanks, Vinny.
All righty. So we're getting close. So where do you see yourself in 5, 10, 15 years?
Man, it's a good question. And I honestly, I try not to think like too much into the future, because it stresses me out. Definitely stresses me out. It's like, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, as somebody who used to struggle a lot with anxiety, it was because I thought too much about the future. But you know, for me, I think it's a little, you have to do that. I mean, especially with a family and kids and things, you kind of have to see you know, what's going on here in 5, 10, 15 years. And I love what I do. And one thing I know is I'll be in this fitness stuff for the rest of my life. So I really do enjoy working in the health club. So I've been able to see pretty good success there and be able to move up a little bit. So I would see myself probably, you know, in a president role of some sort, you know, in some health clubs here within the next 5 to 10 years. And then, you know, 15-year plan. I'm 35 years old right now. You know, I would hope here, and by the time I'm 50 years old, that I have tons of energy. You know, I've got a lot of energy. I'm starting to have grandkids by then, most definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really fun, you know, when that stage of life comes along as well. But I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most at that probably 15-year mark is that's when, you know, my wife and I joke about this all the time. That's when we're going to be able to go on dates and not have to find babysitters. So, you know,
so
that's when we'll actually be able to go out and not have to worry about, hey, what do we do with the kids? So we joke about that's when we'll be able to just go on vacation when we want and all that.
My son hit, when he hit 14 or 15, I can't remember when. He's 17 now. When he hit that age, right, see ya, you're in charge. Call us if you need us.
Yep. And we're right there. We've got a 13-year-old, and she'll be 14 here soon. And it's kind of the same thing. It's like, okay, she can kind of do
you
this.
You can test the water by going a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but so now you know Utah. So do you know where Pineview is?
Yeah.
So we live about 30 minutes from Pineview. I live in West Point, just right next to in Syracuse. And so we'll drive up. My wife and I, seriously, this is what we do for our date night. We go to Pineview because that's where it's local. You still get phone reception, so if there's a problem, they can call us, and we just go fishing. That's what we like to do. Because we go work out, her and I, every day. Like her and I, we go work out. But we love fishing. She loves fishing more than I do, and I love fishing. And so that's kind of our date night. Oh, I love fishing. That's what Copper John's is. Copper John's is a fly.
Yeah.
So, all right. I may have missed this, but how old are you? He just told us.
35. Yeah, 35.
All right. You're building a brand, I mean, yourself. So you are an influencer. I mean, you look at what you're doing. You've influenced many people. You've influenced, you know, the 100 or so that have come in and watched over this and many more who will watch this. How have you been able to accomplish that? And what advice would you give to anyone who's trying to create or become an influencer such as yourself?
Yeah, good question. And I do get asked this a lot, you know. The biggest thing I tell people is it's got to be genuine. It's got to be, you know, you got to be real, and you have to be real. You can't you're not trying to sell something you don't believe in. You're not trying to make a quick buck here or there. You just have to be real and truly believe in any product that you're trying to, you know, partner with or be a part of, because I mean, it is bizarre now how much, you know, I get, and I'm not, you know, crazy big or anything on the influencer status, but you know, how many people just, you know, hey, we'll pay you X amount to, you know, put a post up about our product or put you in our story. And then when you actually look at it, you go, no, I want nothing to do with that. Yeah. And so I think that's a big part of it. And I think the other part of it is consistency. Like, you know, you have to look at, you know, how consistent are you with, you know, your posting and with the things you're putting up. And because a lot of people, you can't just do it when it feels good. It's like working out. You can't just go work out when it feels good. I mean, there's days I don't want to post anything. I don't want to put anything up on social media.
It becomes a job.
You know, it really does. But, you know, but then there's other times where it's fun. And it's just like working out. There's some workouts that are just a blast, and there's other workouts that are miserable. But you do it both times because you know it needs to get done. But you know, I think the biggest thing I tell people is, what kind of value are you adding to people? You know, because a lot of people, they'll be like, hey, can you give me a sponsorship with so-and-so? Can you give me and I just say, okay, what value are you adding to your audience? You know, what are you providing to them? What kind of value are you adding them? Because, you know, seeing the 37 pictures you have up of your jacked shoulders in the gym doesn't really do a whole lot, right? That's kind of cool. But what, you know, there's no advice there. There's no, you know, everything you put up, it either has to be motivational, educational, or funny. And if it's not one of those, three things, then it doesn't really do good. So if you just have that up there to help stroke your ego in hopes that somebody's going to give you a good compliment, like, you're never going to get where you want to go. So you really have to try to add value to the people that your audience.
I love it. All right, now we're in the final stretch. I at the very end, I always do would you rather, just because they're so dumb. And mind you, I'm doing a mullet competition in September, so I've already had people sign up. I have like 12, 13, 14 people sign up for this mullet competition, and there's some really, really good mullets. I mean, really bad, but really good mullets.
The best mullets are really bad, right?
I know, right? So, would you rather have a mullet or a ponytail?
I have to go with mullet. I gotta go with mullet here. I could not do a ponytail. I mean, mullets, you can kind of pull that off as being funny or maybe even look cool, but a ponytail, I just feel like the ponytail puts you in a different category of weird.
Would you rather be bald or have a mullet?
Oh, I think I could embrace. I don't know. That's a tough one. I like my hair.
Yeah.
I think I could embrace the mullet for that.
Okay, I just wanted, because everyone, it's a thing now that I think it's funny.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the mullet.
Would you rather be compelled to high five everyone you meet, or be compelled to give wedgies to anyone with a green shirt?
Man, I love giving high fives. I have no problem giving high fives. Someone with that one all day long. I like giving a good wedgie every now and again, but not since I was 12 years old. So,
what's funny is
I'm going with the high fives.
I would do the high fives, but my son and I were in a show at Ziegfeld Theater called Fairly Potter. Yeah. It's a parody with Harry Potter and all the Christmas shows. And he played young Harry Potter, and I played Vernon at the time, which was Harry Potter's stepdad. And I was messing around one time, and I gave Isaac a huge wedgie as like the dad, and I lifted him up and everything. And mind you, it's my son. And because I like to do things with him because he loves shows, so I audition. And the director's like, I love it. So he hurried bought like 20 pairs of underwear for each son so I could give him a wedgie.
Your son's like, awesome, great. I'm so glad this is.
Well, he put a lot on, so he couldn't tell I was actually giving him a wedgie. So, but still, it was hilarious.
That's cool.
All right. Would you rather live on a beach or in a cabin in the woods?
Man, you know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, it would have been a beach, hands down. I mean, I've always been a beach person, but my wife has really turned me into a mountain person. She loves to hike, and we go out and hike whenever we can. I think I'm still going to give the edge to the beach here. I really like being on a beach, but I'm quickly, I can see myself being converted over to a cabin in the woods, especially there's something I think I crave about just that off the grid, just get me away from people into the quiet type of thing that I think I could definitely go for.
See, and we went to Oceanside and Carlsbad here the past couple of weeks ago, and we stayed there for a whole week, and I love the ocean. I love the sound of the waves when you're sleeping, because we're on a beach house and all that, but holy crap, there's a million people there. And so I'm with you. It's like I could live at the beach if it was just me, but cabin in the woods is just, it's something about being secluded and just being able to be by yourself and just love nature. I'm just reading some of these.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos?
As much as I like tacos, that's an easy sushi for me. I am a sushi nut, and I could go for some unlimited sushi.
Oh, I am a huge sushi fan. Do your kids like sushi?
They have not tried it, and I hesitate. Like our sushi time is so special. I don't think I'd risk trying to bring the kids out. There's been a few times where we've been somewhere and we've been like, "Hey, you should try it," and they're like, "Ew, no," and we're like, "Okay, fine, don't try it." I'm not gonna make you try it. So I didn't. Be honest with you, I didn't like it until I was probably like 22 years old. It was just one of those things where I was like, "Oh, that's got to be gross." And I had this girlfriend once. It's like, "Will you please just come to sushi with me?" I'm like, "Oh, fine." And I was like, dang, that's pretty good. And I was kind of hooked ever since.
Oh, our kids, we went to teppanyaki. So you know where that is. Teppanyaki, yeah. Is it teppanyaki? The hibachi house?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I got some sushi there. I think it was just something simple like spicy tuna. And my kids were like, "Oh, I want some of them." I tried them and they love it. So now every time I go have sushi, they have to have sushi. I'm like, ugh, so much money.
It's a lot of money, and you don't want to share your sushi. So there's a couple problems there.
I know. So. But man, is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to talk? It's 5. It's been that hour, and I truly just appreciate you coming on. Is there anything that you would like to mention or talk or anything? And then also, anyone would you have any more questions for him or anything like that before we go?
No, I mean, I think the big thing is, for me, just thanks for doing what you do. There's a lot of people out there that they're just not very engaged with their audience. They're not very engaged with their customer. I think it's really cool what you do and putting together stuff like this. And, I appreciate you reaching out to me when you first got started, because I've been hooked on stuff ever since. I know I bug you every now and again, but, and I'll just say this, like, especially, as somebody who had to wear the face mask to work every single day for half a year or whatever it was, like the oils were a game changer for me. Like, I had to have them. Like, if there was ever a day where I did not put in, my last cast in there, I was like, that is awful. Like, it saved me in the mask, and so I appreciate what you do. I think it's a great story, behind the brand. I love it. I love every time you send stuff over and it's got the fly with it and all that. So I think it's really cool. I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate what you do for the customer and the audience. You're out there doing awesome stuff. So
that means a lot, especially coming from you. And again, Vinnie, I'm not joking when I say I have like a man crush on him. I'm not going to lie. So Vinnie wants to say so much I want to say. Great interview, man. Truly appreciate your views on fitness as a whole, and wish more people could understand its consistency, hard work, and sticking to the basics. Much love.
Thanks, Vinnie. Appreciate that, man.
And Tyson's a great person and business owner. He answers your messages and just the coolest dude. Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
And then, so at the very end of every show, if you go to my website, I have a gallery page on the website on the top right. You punch on that, and then you can actually enter photos, pictures, stuff like videos of stuff of you using Copper Johns. And like one guy had a Copper Johns that he was holding a bass after he just caught it, and was wearing had a Copper Johns right next to it. It was an epic picture. I absolutely loved it. So this week, the winner, and then I give him a $25 gift card. Whoever wins the best submission, in my view. I mean, it's all subjective to what I believe. But this week is Josh Grimm. If you look, he actually posted on a river and brought pulleys and put it right on a rock with water flowing over it. It was a really good picture. So thanks, Josh, for doing that. I know he's working right now, so I already sent the gift card to him. Ticefield, Mutual Brother, nothing but love. Absolute most respect for you, man. Thanks. Hey, Ryan, thanks for showing up. All right, so last but not least, your code is always good. Appreciate you always coming on and you coming on and talking to me and answering all these great questions. I know people are going to want to reach out to you some more. So where can they find you? On Instagram, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm most active on Instagram. Instagram is at Trainer Mike 1. That's the number 1 on Instagram. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I answer my DMs, and I'd love to communicate any more on there.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, you have a wonderful day. Thanks again, Mike, for everything. I really appreciate your insight. You have a wonderful day, guys.
Thanks, Tyson.
Thanks.
See ya.